The eyes are complex organs in the human body that allow us to see and perceive the world around us. They are responsible for converting light into electrical signals that are sent to the brain, where they are processed into visual images. The structure of the eyes is composed of several parts, including the cornea, iris, pupil, lens, retina, and optic nerve. The sclera is a tough, white outer layer of the eyeball that provides structural support and protection to the delicate internal structures of the eye. It is also commonly known as the white of the eye. The sclera is composed of dense, fibrous connective tissue that is rich in collagen fibers. It is thickest at the back of the eye and becomes progressively thinner towards the front. At the front of the eye, it is pierced by the cornea, a transparent, dome-shaped structure that covers the iris and pupil. The sclera works in tandem with the other structures of the eye to maintain proper vision. It protects the delicate internal structures of the eye, including the retina, lens, and optic nerve, from injury and damage. It also provides a sturdy attachment point for the muscles that move the eye and helps to maintain the shape of the eyeball. In addition to its structural role, the sclera also plays a crucial role in vision. The sclera, together with the cornea, helps to refract and focus incoming light onto the retina, where it is converted into neural signals that are sent to the brain for processing. Abnormalities in the sclera can lead. The cornea is a transparent, dome-shaped structure located at the front of the eye, covering the iris and the pupil. It is an essential part of the eye, responsible for allowing light to enter the eye and refracting it onto the lens. The cornea is made up of several layers, including the epithelium, Bowman's layer, stroma, Descemet's membrane, and endothelium. The epithelium is the outermost layer of the cornea, which acts as a protective barrier against injury and infection. The stroma is the thickest layer of the cornea and is composed of collagen fibers arranged in a precise manner, giving the cornea its strength and transparency. The endothelium is the innermost layer of the cornea and is responsible for maintaining the cornea's clarity by pumping out excess fluid that can cause swelling. The cornea works to focus light onto the lens of the eye, where it is further refracted and focused onto the retina. The curvature of the cornea helps to determine the eye's overall refractive power and is crucial in determining an individual's vision clarity. The cornea is also responsible for protecting the delicate internal structures of the eye. The iris is the colored part of the eye that surrounds the pupil and is responsible for regulating the amount of light that enters the eye. It is a complex and unique structure that plays a critical role in the human eye's function. The iris is composed of two layers of smooth muscle, known as the dilator and sphincter muscles, which work together to control the size of the pupil. The dilator muscle expands the pupil, allowing more light to enter the eye, while the sphincter muscle contracts the pupil, reducing the amount of light that enters the eye. The iris also contains pigmented cells, which give the eye its characteristic color. The amount and distribution of pigment in the iris determine the eye color, with variations in color ranging from brown to blue, green, and gray. The iris's primary function is to regulate the amount of light that enters the eye, which is essential in maintaining clear vision. In bright light, the sphincter muscle contracts, making the pupil smaller and reducing the amount of light that enters the eye. In low light conditions, the dilator muscle contracts, making the pupil larger and allowing. The pupil is the black circular opening located in the center of the iris of the eye. It plays a crucial role in regulating the amount of light that enters the eye and, as a result, helps to maintain clear vision. The pupil is surrounded by the iris, which is composed of two smooth muscle layers, the dilator muscle and the sphincter muscle. These muscles work in coordination to adjust the size of the pupil and control the amount of light that enters the eye. The dilator muscle, which is responsible for increasing the size of the pupil, is located in the iris's outer edge, while the sphincter muscle, which reduces the size of the pupil, is located in the iris's inner edge. The size of the pupil is influenced by various factors, including light intensity, emotions, and certain drugs. In bright light, the sphincter muscle contracts, making the pupil smaller, while in low light, the dilator muscle contracts, making the pupil larger to allow more light into the eye. In response to emotional stimuli, such as excitement or fear, the pupils may dilate, reflecting the activation of the body. The lens is a clear, flexible structure located in the eye that helps to focus light onto the retina. It is a critical part of the eye's visual system, responsible for allowing us to see objects at different distances and with varying levels of clarity. The lens is located behind the iris and the pupil and is composed of a series of transparent, onion-like layers called lens fibers. These fibers are arranged in a specific pattern, allowing the lens to change shape and focus light onto the retina. The lens's primary function is to refract or bend light that enters the eye, allowing it to converge on the retina, where it is converted into electrical signals that are sent to the brain. This bending of light is achieved by changing the shape of the lens, which is controlled by tiny muscles called ciliary muscles. When the ciliary muscles contract, they change the shape of the lens, making it thicker and more convex, which allows the eye to focus on nearby objects. When the ciliary muscles relax, the lens becomes flatter and less convex, allowing the eye to focus on distant objects. As we age, the retina is a light-sensitive tissue located at the back of the eye that plays a critical role in our ability to see. It contains specialized cells called photoreceptors that convert light into electrical signals that are sent to the brain, where they are interpreted as visual images. The retina is composed of several layers of specialized cells, each with a specific function. The photoreceptor layer contains two types of cells, rods and cones. Rods are responsible for detecting light in low light conditions and are important for night vision, while cones are responsible for detecting color and fine detail and are important for daylight vision. The photoreceptors are connected to a layer of bipolar cells, which then connect to ganglion cells. The ganglion cells send the electrical signals generated by the photoreceptors to the brain through the optic nerve, where they are processed into visual images. In addition to rods and cones, the retina also contains other specialized cells, such as horizontal and amacrine cells, that help to integrate and process visual information. The retina's central area, called the macula, is the optic nerve is a crucial part of the visual system that transmits visual information from the retina to the brain. It is a bundle of nerve fibers that originates at the back of the eye and connects to the brain at the optic chiasm, a crossing point of the nerves from the two eyes. When light enters the eye and strikes the retina, it is converted into electrical signals by specialized cells called photoreceptors. These signals are then transmitted through the optic nerve to the brain, where they are processed into visual images. The optic nerve contains more than 1 million nerve fibers, which are organized into different layers. The fibers that originate from the photoreceptors in the retina form the innermost layer, while the outer layers contain fibers that transmit information about other aspects of vision, such as contrast, color, and motion. Damage to the optic nerve can result in vision loss or blindness. Conditions that can damage the optic nerve include glaucoma, a group of diseases that can cause increased pressure in the eye, and optic neuritis, an inflammation of the optic nerve that is often associated with multiple sclerosis.